Carlo Ancelotti rages at Spanish media as they question Kylian Mbappe's mental health at Real Madrid. Has Kylian Mbappé ruined his career by going to Real Madrid? That's the question that's on everybody's lips. Or is it the question that is on everybody's lips? I haven't heard anything about Kylian Mbappé since he went to Real Madrid. Have you heard anything about Kylian Mbappé since he went to Real Madrid? There seems to be certain players that, for me, once they go from a big fish in a small pond to where they always dreamed of being, they get found out a little bit. Has that happened with Kylian Mbappé? Mbappe's gone to Madrid. We're going to take a look at his stats since he went to Madrid. Is he setting the world alight? Is the media just not reporting on him? What are the Spanish press saying? Because Spanish media, of course, come down hard on players that don't do well at Real Madrid, notoriously. But we've seen Jude Bellingham go to Real Madrid last season, I think it was, and he set the world on fire. He won the Champions League. I think he was second or third in the Ballon d'Or, with Vinicius Jr. being second or third. I think he was second or third. And, Bellingham he got to the Euro final as well, didn't win it, but he just was on fire, was completely on fire. It didn't seem to faze him that he was joining, the best team ever. It's basically the best club ever, isn't it? The most successful club of all time. So what has happened to Mbappé? Is he still playing as good? Is he playing worse? Is he feeling the pressure? Let's see what is going on with his form. And look, I'm not going to sit here and say Mbappe's not a good player. Like I said, I do appreciate him as a spectacle. He's amazing. But when you play in the French league, your abilities can be amplified. It's like playing in the Scottish league or playing in the Bundesliga to an extent. There's only one team. It's very rare that any other team does well. There's only one team in that league. So if you're the best player on that team, or if you're in that team in general, you are going to stand out amongst all of the other players in that league. The French league has got very low competition in it, and that is why PSG do very well in the Champions League as well. Sorry, PSG fans, but it's true. You don't have a good competition in your native league. So when you come up against teams in Europe, you don't do very well. So is Mbappé struggling with the same symptom as that? We're going to take a look at his stats. So he moved to Real Madrid. How much did he sign for Real Madrid for? Mbappé signed for Madrid. Let's see what the price tag was on him. His price tag was... the striker signed a 5-year deal with the club. Kylian Mbappé is now officially Real Madrid player. Club president Perez welcomed the player in. But how much did he sign for? On a free transfer. So Mbappé signs Madrid deal on a free transfer when his PSG contract expires in June. So did he go on a free? Wow. I mean, if he goes on a free, then you can't really complain. Any free transfer that goes over, you can't really complain. He's agreed a deal with Real Madrid until 2029, earning €15 million a season. Plus €150 million signing on bonus to be paid over 5 years. And he'll keep a percentage of his image rights. Jesus Christ. I mean, this is another topic completely, but footy players now, they're a brand, aren't they? They're a brand. So just signing for a football club isn't just about going and playing for that football club anymore. It's about what you bring as a brand to that football club in terms of earning power and in terms of popularity. That's what it's about. Unfortunately, the game is dead in a lot of ways in that sense. I'm a traditionalist in that sense. I like players just to play for the badge, do you know what I mean? But those days are well and truly over, and you're deluded if you think that they're not. But €150 million sign-on bonus to be paid over 5 years. So all in all, he'll make... So that's plus €150 million. So 150 million bonus. I'm sure that's I'm sure that is based on his performance though, so he might not be meeting those expectations at the moment. But let's just read this again. 15 million a year for 5 years. So what's that? 30 million, 60 million, 75 million plus 150 million. I mean, that's nearly £250 million he's going to make, plus the image rights percentages. That's insane, people. I mean, I don't know what boxer said it. I think it was Marvin Hagler, and I've said this in another video before, but I think the quote says, it's hard to get out of bed in the morning to go for a run when you're wearing silk pajamas, or when your bed sheets are made out of silk. And I think the message behind that quote is, when we're talking about these types of figures, I mean, what is the motivation, really? And, you know, if you come up against someone who is fighting to get to that point compared to fighting to maintain that money, you're going to get different levels of commitment. In my opinion, football's very different to boxing and fighting, but I just think when you're throwing those types of figures about, there's a lot to live up to. And it makes the pressure on you even worse when your motivation is at its lowest. So the higher the price tag on the player, the less motivation you've got because you're earning more, but the more pressure is on you from the fans and the club perspective and the world's perspective, the whole game's perspective. So I'm not going to say I feel sorry for him, but it's a difficult place to be as a player, I'm sure. But I'm sure the $250 million that he's going to earn if he plays his cards right is going to make that a little bit more easier for him. But yeah, that's what he went for, free transfer. And let's take a look at his stats since he went to Madrid. So he signed for Madrid in the summer on a free transfer. He's played 16 games in total. He's scored 8 goals and 2 assists. 8 goals and 2 assists in 16 games. So he's scored in every other game. 1 goal every other game. I mean, they're not bad stats on the face of it, and it is sort of too early to tell. But again, it would be too early to tell if he didn't have that pressure on him, because when you're earning $250 million, a goal every other game isn't good enough. It's just not good enough. And only 2 assists as well. That's what I look for in a great player as well. This is what I was saying when I couldn't really put my finger on why I didn't think Mbappé was great. It's because he's not an all-round great player. Like, this is why I prefer Messi to Ronaldo. Sorry, Ronaldo fans, if this turns you off the video. But Messi's a better player all round. He's better at passing. He's a better team player, and that goes a long way for me. Do you know what I mean? That holds a lot of weight for me. If you can, like, look at Mo Salah, for example. I know I talk about Mo Salah all the time, but he doesn't just score goals. He sets up, like, at least half the goals that he scores. If he scores 20 in a season, he's going to get 10 assists at least. And Mbappé here, he's only got 8 goals and 2 assists, so he's not setting the world alight. Let's look at his stats from the season before at PSG, though. Let's see what he returned the season before. So the season before, yeah, this is a perfect example of how the French league completely different to the Spanish league. But also, I don't think the Spanish league is incredibly difficult league to play in, because, you know, it is a little bit more competitive than the French league, but it's not. The top 3-4 teams are still miles ahead than everywhere else. But look at these stats from the season before in Mbappe's career. He played 48 games and he scored 44 goals. And most of those come from the French league, Ligue 1. So he played 29 games in Ligue 1 and he scored 27 goals. That's almost a goal a game. His assists are still poor, though. So he's not a generally good team player, I don't think. He's got a lot of pace. He knows where the goal is. But is he getting found out? Because 44 goals in 48 games. I mean, let's look at his Champions League return last season. So he played, I mean, this is a really good return, to be fair. He played 12 games in the Champions League last year and he scored 8 goals. Great. That's a great return. That is a great return. Let's see what he scored in the Champions League this year. Let's just refresh this again. In the Champions, I think he's only played 4 games. So he's played 4 games and he's only got 1 goal in the Champions League so far. So, again, he's not setting the world alight for Real Madrid. But what is it? What is it that's causing that? Is it the fact that what I've just mentioned, is he not as motivated because he's getting his bag no matter what? Was he never that good? That's a possibility. Was he always that good, but he's not playing as well for some reason? Why wouldn't he be playing as well? He's got his dream career. He's playing in front of 70,000, 80,000 fans every weekend. He's playing with the greatest players in the world. He's probably going to win a Champions League at Real Madrid because, let's face it, Real Madrid win the Champions League every year. So what is it that could be causing it? I personally just think that it is a big fish in a small pond problem. I think Mbappé, as good as he is as a goal scorer and as good as he is on the ball and he's so fast and he captures your attention, I just don't think he's a good all-round player. And do you know, if you would have asked me, how do you think Mbappé is going to do at Real Madrid if he signs for them? I would have said he's going to be underwhelming. And I'm not just saying that. Obviously, hindsight is a wonderful thing. I'm not just saying that. But it sort of makes sense. You know, I don't get me wrong. I would love Mbappé to sign for Liverpool because he's just a great asset to the team, isn't he? Even though Liverpool are flying, Man City just got beat 4-0 yesterday at home to Tottenham. And if Liverpool win today, they go 8 points clear at the top of the Premier League. And if they beat City next week, they go 11 points clear at the top of the league. But that's for another video. I'm excited, as you can tell. But I'd have loved Mbappé to come to Liverpool. I was calling for Liverpool to sign Mbappé and Jude Bellingham. I think those 2 players in our team would have been fantastic. And, you know, anyone in the right mind who understands football knows that, you know, we would love to see Mbappé in your team. We would, no matter what. Let's take a look at the season before last as well. So last season he got 44 goals in 48 games. Incredible return. The season before he got 41 goals in 43 games. But again, it's League One. It's that French league. He played 34 games and scored 29 goals. Incredible goal tally, that is. But again, you know, the French league just isn't it. It just isn't it. And a lot of people say this about Messi. You know, Messi was so good, but he played for Barca his whole career, and he didn't, well, for most of his career. But if he'd have played in the Premier League, he wouldn't have been as good. But I think Messi's just a different animal. Messi was always the best player in the world, wasn't he? Let's be honest. From 1918, we knew he was going to be the best player in the world. But that's by the by. But yeah, what does the future have in store for Kylian Mbappé? I personally think that he is going to have a really bad season this year. I can't see him hitting great form now that let's see what the Spanish press is saying about him. Spanish media opinion on Mbappé. Let's see what Carlo Ancelotti rages at Spanish media as they question Kylian Mbappe's mental health at Real Madrid. This is how bad the Spanish media can be, people, when you don't perform. They actually question his mental health. He couldn't just be not as good as what he thought. He has to have a mental problem. Real Madrid have had plenty of adversity to navigate this season, but Carlo Ancelotti has supported his players the whole way. Carlo Ancelotti's a professional. He's never gonna make his players feel bad. Kylian Mbappé struggles in adapting to his new Spanish club have been well documented, and as the French internationals found it difficult integrating into a lineup already boasting superstars. Again, Vinicius Junior, Rodrigo, Jude Bellingham, that can be a factor as well. It can be sort of, stage fright, kind of. Some players have it. Doesn't matter how good you are, some players get it. Yet the Spanish media continues searching for explanations for his spotty form. Ancelotti believes they've gone too far. In his pre-match press conference ahead of Sunday's league match, Ancelotti made his thoughts clear. What a question. Ancelotti baffled. I don't have the impression that he has mental health problems. I see him as happy to be here. If he is, he doesn't show it. But I think speculating about problems of this type is a bit ugly. I'd agree with that. But the Spanish media, the Real Madrid driven media are gonna get on your back. It's a tough pill to swallow, but you know, us as football fans, you always get that football fan that says, you know, he's getting paid all this money, he should expect to see bad things in the media, he should be able to take it. I'm sure he doesn't feel bad in his mansion, you know, but at the end of the day, he's a human being, and people take that sort of criticism really harshly sometimes as well. I get it with my artwork. I post videos of artwork and I get thousands of comments positive, and then I get one negative comment about the artwork, and it puts me in a downward spiral for a couple of minutes, and I'm like, I have to like go, whoa, that's one person, just ignore that, even though my artwork might well be shit. You check it out. I'm at Cali away on all socials if you want to check it out. But that can affect you. It can affect you. You know, Joe Rogan always says, don't read comments on your YouTube because, you know, you're going to get negged out at the end of the day. Let's see what else it says here. There's plenty of questions unanswered regarding Mbappe's relationship with both club and country, but Ancelotti was not having the speculation. Mbappé was left out of the France squad this past international window, something Blues boss Didier Deschamps confirmed was a coach's decision and not due to fitness, but would also be a one-off occurrence. So he's decided just not to include Mbappé in the international team. There's always bad moments. All these great strikers have been through them, but he's motivated and happy, says Ancelotti. That's all I can see. We'll see. Like I said, the Spanish media can get on your back extremely heavily, and you've got to be able to take that as a player. And I guess what we will see with Mbappé is if he is the player everyone thinks he is, and he has got this opportunity now, it's actually a positive for him because he's got the opportunity to prove everybody wrong. He's got the opportunity to finish this season by smashing it, showing everyone who he really is as a player, and that's what great players do. That's what truly great players do. They might have a little bit of a downturn for a couple of matches, but if you are a truly excellent player, then you will ride the storm and you'll come out on top at the end. Hopefully that's what Mbappé does. Hopefully that's what he does to prove everybody wrong. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Is Mbappé overrated? Is he just having a downturn? Is he suffering from something else that we don't know about? Or is he getting stage fright? Let me know. Many possibilities, myriad possibilities, but let me know what you think in the comments below. Like I said before, people, if you follow me, you know who I am, but if you don't, then I am an artist, and I have drawn Mbappé a couple of times, and I have him as a phone wallpaper that you can download for free, which I'll pop up on the screen for you at my website. I'll put all the details in the description below. I've got over 200 drawings on there that you can take advantage of and download for free as phone wallpapers as well. And I also have artwork, as you can see, the Mo Salah painting behind me that I finished a couple of weeks ago. That's available to collect as well. Go and check my website out if you're interested. If not, don't worry. Thanks for watching the video, and let me know about any players you'd like me to take a look at. Anyone else that you think might be having a good season, a bad season, anyone that you want me to draw or paint, let me know in the comments, and I'll be back next week with another video. Thanks for watching, and have a boss day.